Hi, I'm Colleen. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about executive functioning skills. I'm going to give you a beginner's guide so that you can understand what it is and be able to recognize those skills. This will be the first video in a series where I give you tips and tricks for you, your children, or the students that you work with. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stick around. Let's start off with what executive functioning is. This is a set of thinking skills that involves planning, organizing, remembering, getting started, and finishing tasks. These things all seem simple in general, but for somebody who has executive dysfunction, it is not very simple. All students are developing these skills, of course, because that part of the brain that is involved in this type of thinking is the last part of the brain to develop. You'll know that it's actually a problem for your students or your children or yourself if it's impeding your ability to function day to day, if it keeps you from being able to do your best. Okay, so let's talk about what it looks like when there's executive dysfunction. Somebody who has executive dysfunction often is scattered. That's the person that is disorganized and always seems to be behind the 8 ball. They're frustrated and they're capable. They have a hard time getting started on homework or an assignment or on something that you ask them to do in the house, like dishes. They have a hard time finishing it because they get distracted easily. Maybe they lose things, special and important things. Maybe they forget their lunch every single day, and the consequence of not having a lunch doesn't actually change the behavior. Not having these skills makes it very frustrating for the person who has the executive dysfunction and for the people around them. A day in the life of a person with executive dysfunction can look something like this. They get up and it's very difficult to move through the morning routine. Finding clothes is hard, getting breakfast is hard, finding all of their supplies, books, backpack, lunch is very hard. Oftentimes they forget things. They walk out the door and they have to come back several times because they've forgotten something. Once they're at school or at work, it's hard to get started on a task. They might avoid things. Talking to coworkers or classmates, they might ask to go to the bathroom frequently. It's somebody who can't get started. And once they get started, sometimes they get distracted. They walk around, they read something on the internet instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then the evening routine tends to be challenging too. So homework oftentimes doesn't make it back home, or homework is hard to get started on even if they understand what the homework is about. Sometimes homework isn't written down, so you don't know what they're supposed to do. And they can't tell you what they were supposed to do because they can't remember. And then there's bedtime. Moving through that routine oftentimes makes it very difficult to get to bed on time. It may include a temper tantrum or somebody fighting with somebody else. It may include needing to be pushed through things like the shower or the bath, needing reminders. Living a life like that can be very frustrating for everybody involved. In my next video, I'll talk about what kinds of tips and strategies you can use to help with some of these skills. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw today, please give me a like and subscribe if you're interested in finding out more about executive functioning skills and other tips and strategies for teaching and working with kids and families. Thank you. Bye.